All right, now we're joined by Boston Fleet forward Jamie Lee Rattray. And Jamie Lee, it's so exciting to have you on today. I have to say, our interactions around the rink are always some of my favorite, but it's great to have you on. Thanks for taking the time. And I guess we'll just start by saying, how are things? I think you've been able to stay at home the past couple of days. So how have things been for you?
Yeah, it's been really nice. I mean, like you said, we feels like we've been on the road pretty much the whole season, and I think the schedule's been pretty hectic on the road, but it's been a lot of fun, right? I think you can kind of, as a team, bond on the road and things like that. But yeah, it's been really nice to be back in Boston and sleep in our own beds, and actually, it's been kind of like spring here, right? As you know, so it's been nice to kind of be here and enjoy the weather and cook some meals at home, which I really enjoy. So that's been a good part of it.
Yeah, the whole lifestyle kind of settles down when you're at home. I feel like when we talked to Coach Kessel about this, she said, I think we're excited to sleep in our beds for a consecutive amount of nights. But yeah, I think the last time I saw you was actually over at Aganis Arena. I think you were coming off the ice, and I was kind of tucked in a corner. It was funny. I felt like I was in a bit of a timeout, but just, the experience of that day was so much fun. And I guess just getting it from your perspective, what was it like to play at Aganis Arena and just in front of a sold-out crowd against Montreal?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a ton of fun playing in that rink, right? I think there's a lot of history in that rink, being, where it is on the campus of BU. And I think a lot of us are really super excited just to play right in the city of Boston and represent well there. And I mean, our fans are so great anywhere we go, really, to be honest, even on the road. But I think the fans really loved being in that building, and it was super loud and a ton of fun. And I think too, right, like a great game against Montreal that goes to overtime. Obviously, we would have liked to win, but I think it was a good showing at BU and a ton of fun to be a part of.
Yeah, I feel like the win over Minnesota just in the past couple of weeks, within the last month, was kind of a nice catalyst for the team. You went on a little bit of a heater there, and then it kind of culminated at the game at the Aganis Arena. So where do you feel like your team has been lately? I feel like the scoring depth has kind of come out. Not only people putting the puck in the net, but also those who are dishing it out. Where do you feel the team is right now?
Yeah, I think we've really found our groove, right? I mean, sometimes it takes a couple of games in a season, right? Obviously, with a season that only has 30 games, you'd like to do it quicker, right? But I'm really proud of our group. Like, I think we've just really figured out where everyone fits their roles, and everyone's really stepped up their game. And I think we get something we can be really proud of, our group. And I mean, obviously, we've had some great performances from individual players on individual nights, and I think that's the cool thing about our team is that you've seen players step up in big moments on different games, right? It's not always the same player over and over. I think it's been kind of a collective effort from everybody, and I think it's really fun to be a part of. And I mean, it kind of felt similar to last year, where we kind of really found our groove in the middle of the season, and I think we've just figured it out at the right time, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, kind of going back to that Aganis game, you scored a goal there with an assist from Lexia Gia and Jillian Dempsey. It seems like, a couple of players are also finding their way on the stat sheet as well, just kind of contributing here and there. When you think about that depth and just who has kind of stepped up lately, is there anyone that's been a lot of fun to play with or a lot of fun to see as they've taken these steps?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said Jillian Dempsey there. I mean, she's a local kid that grew up here, and she's really stepped up for us and stepped into a great role and been a great teammate for us. So I think that's someone that really sticks out to me, who has been really valuable to our group. And I mean, obviously, playing with everybody, but I think our line, Teresa Sapsal and Hannah Brandt and myself, we've been really great together. I've had a lot of fun playing with them, and we've kind of been able to kind of find our groove in terms of what we need to contribute to the team, whether that's maybe a good defensive shift or a good forechecking shift to set up maybe another shift for another line, or we've been able to produce a little bit in the last little bit, so that's been a lot of fun. But again, like, we've got such a great group that I think you can kind of throw anybody together and make it work. And I know those are just a couple that come to mind.
Yeah, when you think about the travel you mentioned that you had been doing throughout the course of the season, the PWHL Takeover Tour has been a lot of fun. It's taking you to different cities like Seattle, Buffalo. I know St. Louis is coming up. As far as where you've been able to play this year, are there any highlights that come to mind? I know you got to go to Pike Place and throw the fish and that kind of stuff. What were some of the highlights of the year just on the road?
Yeah, I mean, Seattle was super cool. I've been able to be there, play at Climate Pledge for a Rivalry Series game, and that was super fun. I just think it's obviously a newer arena, and kind of like if you walk into that arena, it just feels like futuristic, right? It's just kind of
Yeah.
like a new arena that's really cool to be a part of. And then obviously Seattle is just a great city. And, Buffalo was super fun too. The one we had a couple of weeks ago. I'm a big Bills fan, so it was kind of fun to be in Buffalo and play there. And I don't know. I just think we've gotten to play in some really cool places this year, and you've seen it from the other teams as well, how much fun it's been to play in those different arenas. And I'm looking forward to St. Louis. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we get a good crowd there and put on a good show for them.
Yeah, looking ahead, I can't believe we're already at this point of the year, but 8 regular season games left at this point. You're on the road in Ottawa this weekend, and then you have essentially another road game, but although the one in St. Louis is on the road, you're technically the home team. So just looking ahead at this, it's kind of a big home stretch for your team. How do you think you can use that as a benefit as you're looking ahead to playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think this next stretch is really big for us. We want to find our groove, like continue to play well, and take the momentum into playoffs, like you said. And obviously, we would like to have a good run here heading into the international break that's coming up. So I think for us, just focusing one game at a time, right? I think when you're on the road like that, you find your groove and find your routine that works. And now that we're at home, we got to find what routine works for us at home too. So I have no doubt that we will, and it'll be a lot more fun playing at home when you have fans cheering for you, for sure. But again, we really just want to make sure we're trying to get every single point we can down the stretch, because as you know, it's tight standings. I mean, every time you look at after every game, it seems to get tighter and tighter, and we want to make sure that we're getting every single point that we can. So it's on our group and our leadership group to make sure we're trying to do the best things to bring our group forward.
I think one of my favorite storylines throughout the year, I got to talk with Amanda Pelkey about her son, Levi, and how Levi's been able to travel with the team and, see him around the rink, and it's just been really cool. Aside from the merch that was just released for the pets, of course, we love the babies too, and we know that you and your wife are expecting a child, and I just want to, we talked about this on the broadcast earlier this year, but the moment that you were able to tell the team, can you walk us through that moment and just how exciting it was to see all of it come together and tell your friends?
Yeah, I mean, I think like anything, I think in hockey, I mean, it's about the connections you make and the people you've met along the way. And to me, a lot of my family and friends are in hockey, right? And I think that's kind of the special part about it. So, being able to share that news with, especially the girls here in Boston was super special. And seeing Pelkey and her wife come on the road with us, and and Levy, and just enjoy those little moments. I'm excited to experience that myself next year, and it just shows how great hockey can be, right? The community of family, and I think our group especially, we've been able to kind of rally around each other, and not just on the ice but off the ice. So it's pretty special, and obviously my wife and I are super excited for the summer and next year to be able to share those moments as well. And hopefully Levy has a nice little friend to play around with, and he's not all by himself on the road. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you've been used to being a professional hockey player, and now you can add mother to the resume. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see that happen for you. And we appreciate you sharing your story and a little bit on the team this year. So thank you again for joining us. Jamie Lee Rattray, a forward with the Boston Fleet. And just so you know, the Boston Fleet are headed to Ottawa this weekend, facing off with Ottawa 2 p.m. on Saturday. Make sure you catch that game. And Jamie Lee Rattray on NESN. Well, thanks again, Jamie. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. See you later.